It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
White women, have you heard this question being asked by black women? Would they rather be in a boardroom with a white man or a white woman? And they're choosing white man. The creators, Portia, White Woman Whisperer, and a few more have been having this discussion, and it's been kind of controversial. One of their pages, actually, maybe a couple, have gotten demonetized and taken down as a result. But as I'm thinking about it, something really hit me. One of the creators had a video about how white women's tears are dangerous. And this is because, in their point of view and in their explanation, when a white woman cries, it can activate the violence of white men. I've been processing this a lot. As I've been processing it, I remembered and thought about the story of Emmett Till. And when I have heard that story, out of all the people involved, out of all the violence and all the horror, there's one person that has always made my blood run cold, and that is the woman who lied about Emmett. The white woman who claimed that she was in danger or that she was offended or whatever by Emmett. Maybe it's because the violence of the men didn't surprise me or has happened a lot, and the deception of this woman did surprise me and did seem so insidious and so dangerous and so scary. She broke this norm that I feel like we all have, this underlying value of protecting a child. She broke that in order to call into action the violence of her partner. Whether she was trying to make him jealous or whatever the theories are. I mean, there's a lot of theories about why she would have done it. Maybe she felt unsafe from him as well. Whatever it was, that has always been the scariest part of that story for me, and the most disgusting part of that story, and the most surreal, just chilling part of that story. So then, in a very small way, it makes sense now. That is scarier. That thought of a woman betraying that trust is scarier to me as well. Maybe that's a tiny part of what they're feeling. And so I guess what I'm just saying is processing this, thinking about it, and realizing that I have the same reaction in some small way can help it make sense and not be offensive. Like, these lessons come little by little for me. They have, at least. In grad school, I had a similar lesson where there were 2 black women in our cohort, in all of our classes. And we had a racism and social justice and cultural class. And one of these women had to actually say, I do not want to be the poster child for my race. I do not want to be the spokesperson. It's too much work. It's too exhausting. And just hearing that was the first time I had heard that concept. And it made sense to me as a religious minority. I also didn't want to be the voice for my religion, you know? And so being able to put it in perspective and not, I guess, just think it through and think, what can I take from this? And how can I learn a lesson from this and be less of a burden on other people and be more of a true advocate and ally, not just in word, has been a growth process for a long time for me. So this is just a new step on that. Hopefully that they have this totally different experience that I will never have, that I can choose to understand, at least choose to digest and make sense of, even if it doesn't resonate right away. Letting it just kind of sit and bounce around in my head has really helped me bring more understanding to it. Letting it just kind of simmer as I listen to more information and not react right away with emotion has been helpful for me. And just taking the time to believe them that this is actually their take on it, they're not just trying to be mean to us, is super important. white women, have you heard this question being asked by black women? Would they rather be in a boardroom with a white man or a white woman? And they're choosing white man.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out the question again and where how this all came in because I was kind of reversed around. So I think women. I can't answer for black women and how they feel. But then when she started talking about white women tears, you want to know my experience with white women tears is a lot of it comes from having children by white women. And I'm not even just going to blame this on white women. I'm just going to say women in general, but mine just happen to be white. Um, is that when you go to court, they can cry and act like the absolute worst thing happened to their lives. And with them crying makes it 10 times worse. And it's just like, you know, it's crazy because I say that because at one time there was an instance where the tears was flowing and I was just like, damn, I hope this judge ain't buying this crap. The judge can't buy this crap. By the end of her little spiel, the judge bought it. And I was like, am I even gonna get a chance to rebuttal that? Like, are you gonna take this as face value? I was like, that's wild. I couldn't believe it. My ears and eyes did not deceive me. This woman cried so hard, visibly shaking, just like as if she was. I was terrorizing her at that moment. Mind you, I didn't terrorize her. It was a lie, but she sold the fuck out of it, and that judge believed it. So, needless to say, after it's all said and done, that person is no longer an issue. And I don't hold that part against her. But I don't forget. And since I don't forget, I have forgiven. But I don't have to like that person. I don't have to deal with that person. That person has no ties to me. She's not even my baby mama no more. Let's we related to the same kid. But so at the end of the day, um, would I choose to be in a boardroom with a white woman or a white man? It's kind of hard to say because what I think is there are white men who are intimidated by black men. Also, I'm an educated black man. I'm a well versed, well spoken, outspoken black man. I am a truth seeker and I am a problem solver. So, do men be intimidated by me? Yes. They won't say it, but they'll show it in actions. White women will white women are more inclined to give me an opportunity I've had more opportunities from white women than I have from white men. I've had more um, leeway with white women than I have with white men. Because white women aren't afraid of me. White women love my attitude. I think that makes some white men feel some type of way because I'm so likable. They be like, damn, this nigga, he too likable. He gonna get the bosses on his side. He gonna take my job. Yeah, that's how they be. But I'm not saying all white men whatsoever. I'm saying those are in charge that can directly affect my work environment situation in a boardroom. I can work good with white men and not even. I'm not trying to step on no toes, and I will make that clear. Um, but again, I've been offered more opportunities by white women than I have white men. Every time I have a situation with a white supervisor or a white boss, um, it has been um, it hasn't been pleasant. I had one boss. Now this guy is a white man, very good guy. I'm not gonna say he was intimidated. In fact, he was one person in my life that gave me the best information ever. Mind you, I got felonies, so I can't just. It's certain jobs that I just can't have. But he he told me to apply for this job at our job. I interviewed for the job. He critiqued me on it, and he said, as much as I would like to give you this job, I had to bring you in here and let you go through this process, let you see your potential, just so you know where you need to be. And what that told me is, well, of course he couldn't give me the job because of my felonies, but he was like, you are better than the position you in right now. And if you want to get to that level, you need to go where they gonna allow you to be the person you are. And I was like, at some point I was just like, man, fuck him. But then after thinking about it, I was like, well, that makes sense. I get what he's saying. And so yeah, that happened. I got my shit together. So that I'm not gonna say I don't know. I don't know. Maybe y'all have different experiences with white men and white women. But I've had a lot of opportunities with both. And again, you just heard the story about my boss who didn't give me an opportunity, but he gave me a valuable lesson and he made me feel better about myself and more confident in my abilities, even with having felonies. He was like, bro, I know you could do your job. I know you could do whatever you could do very well, but you ain't gonna get it here. So I gave you this interview as a pre-interview for your next job, cause I think you better than this. And I was like, you sure right. Sucks, but it was right. He was right.
Everyday people.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.